By the way, Mr. Gatsby, I understand you're an Oxford man.
Not exactly.
Oh yes, I understand you went to Oxford.
Yes, I went there.
You must have gone there about the time Biloxi went to New Haven.
I told you I went there.
I heard you, but I'd like to know when.
It was 1919. I only stayed 5 months. That's why I can't really call myself an Oxford man.
Tom glanced around to see if we mirrored his unbelief, but we were all looking at Gatsby.
You see, it was an opportunity they gave us to some of the officers after the armistice. We could go to any of the universities in England or France.
I wanted to get up and slap him on the back. I had one of those renewals of complete faith in him that I'd experienced before.
Open the whiskey, Tom, and I'll make you a mint julep. Then you won't seem so stupid to yourself. Look at the mint.
Wait a minute. I wanted to ask Mr. Gatsby one more question.
Go on.
What kind of row are you trying to cause in my house anyhow?
He isn't causing a row. You're causing a row. Please have a little self-control.
Self-control? I suppose the latest thing's to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from nowhere make love to your wife. Well, if that's the idea, you can count me out. Nowadays, people begin by sneering at family life and family institutions. And next they'll throw everything overboard and have intermarriage between black and white.
Flushed with his impassioned gibberish, he saw himself standing alone on the last barrier of civilization. We're all white here.
I know I'm not very popular. I don't give big parties. I suppose you have to make your house into a pigsty in order to have any friends in the modern world.
Angry as I was, as we all were, I was tempted to laugh whenever he opened his mouth. The transition from libertine to prig was so complete.
I've got something to tell you, old sport.
Please don't. Please, let us all go home. Why don't we all go home?
That's a good idea. Come on, Tom. Nobody wants a drink.
Your wife doesn't love you. She's never loved you. She loves me.
You must be crazy.
She never loved you. Do you hear? She only married you because I was poor and she was tired of waiting. A terrible mistake, but in her heart, she never loved anyone except me.
At this point, Jordan and I tried to go, but Tom and Gatsby insisted with competitive firmness that we remain as though neither of them had anything to conceal, and it would be a privilege to partake vicariously of their emotions.
I told you what's been going on for 5 years, and you didn't know.
You've been seeing this fellow for 5 years?
Not seen. No, we couldn't meet, but both of us loved each other all this time, old sport, and you didn't know. I used to laugh sometimes. To think that you didn't know.
Oh, that's all? You're crazy. I can't speak about what happened 5 years ago because I didn't know Daisy then. And I'll be damned if I see how you got within a mile of her unless you brought the groceries to the back door. But all the rest, that's a goddamn lie. Daisy loved me when she was married to me, and she loves me now.
No.
She does, though. The trouble is that sometimes she gets foolish ideas in her head and doesn't know what she's doing.
You're revolting. Do you know why we left Chicago? I'm surprised they didn't treat you to the story of that little spree.
Daisy, that's all over now. It doesn't matter anymore. Just tell him the truth, that you never loved him, and it's all wiped out forever.
Why, how could I love him, possibly?
You never loved him.
She hesitated. Her eyes fell on Jordan and me with a sort of appeal, as though she realized at last what she was doing, and as though she had never, all along, intended doing anything at all. But it was done now. It was too late.
I never loved him.
Not at Kipiolani?
No.
Not the day I carried you down from the punch bowl to keep your shoes dry? Daisy?
Please don't. There, Jay. Oh, you want too much. I love you now. Isn't that enough? I can't help what's in the past. I did love him once, but I loved you too.
You loved me, too?
Even that's a lie. She didn't know you were alive. Why? There's things between Daisy and me that you'll never know. Things that neither of us can forget.
These words seemed to bite physically into Gatsby.
I want to speak to Daisy alone. She's all excited now.
Even alone, I can't say I never loved Tom. It wouldn't be true.
Of course it wouldn't.
As if it mattered to you.
Of course it matters. I'm going to take better care of you from now on.
You don't understand. You're not going to take care of her anymore.
I'm not? Why's that?
Daisy's leaving you.
Nonsense.
I am, though.
She's not leaving me. Certainly not for a common swindler who'd have to steal the ring he put on her finger.
I won't stand this. Oh, please, let's get out.
Who are you anyhow? You're one of them bunch that hangs around with Meyer Wolfsheim. That much I happen to know. I've made a little investigation into your affairs, and I'll carry it further tomorrow.
You can suit yourself about that, old sport.
I found out what your drugstores were. He and Wolfsheim bought up a lot of side street drugstores here in Chicago and sold grain alcohol over the counter. That's one of his little stunts. I picked him for a bootlegger the first time I saw him, and I wasn't far wrong.
What about it? I guess your friend Walter Chase wasn't too proud to come in on it.
And you left him in the lurch, didn't you? You let him go to jail for a month over in Jersey. God, you ought to hear Walter on the subject of you.
He came to us dead broke. He was very glad to pick up some money, old sport.
Don't call me old sport. Walter could have you up on the belting laws too, but Wolfsheim scared him into shutting his mouth.